Welcome back to The Rich Life. I'm your host Aaron, and today we're going to talk about the rich life of Sebastian Vettel. But before we get started, don't forget to click like and subscribe for your daily dose of celebrity content. Now let's get to it. The German driver is currently with Aston Martin team after he made his F1 debut with Red Bull back in 2007. Vettel is one of the most successful drivers in the field alongside the likes of Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, and Juan Miguel Fangio. Aston Martin driver Sebastian Vettel confirmed his retirement with Formula 1 at the end of this season. On his website, Vettel said, "I love this sport, but as much as there is life on track, there is my life off track too. Being a racing driver has never been my sole identity. I believe in change and progress and that every little bit makes a difference. Committing to my passion no longer goes side by side with my wish to be a great father and husband." He continued, "My passion comes with certain aspects that I have learned to dislike. They might be solved in the future, but they will apply to the changes that become much stronger and has led to my action today. We cannot afford to wait. My best race is still to come." Sebastian Vettel is a German Formula 1 racing driver and has a net worth of $140 million. He's driven for teams such as BMW Sauber, Toro Rosso, Red Bull, Ferrari, and Aston Martin, having won the World's Driving Championship titles. These 4 titles came consecutively over a period from 2010 to 2013. Only an elite group of drivers have won a world championship before the age of 25, and Vettel holds the honor of being the youngest ever world champion. In 2010, he won the championship at the tender age of 23. A highly consistent performer, Sebastian has finished on the podium 122 times, which is more than any F1 racer in history. He also holds records for the most 3rd and 4th place finishes. It's estimated that he earned $41 million in the year of 2016, while his salary from 2017 to 2018 was approximately $40 million. He earned the same in the next year, while from 2019 to 2020, he reportedly made $36 million. He won his first world championship at the age of 23 and won 38 Grand Prix races during his time with Red Bull. The German driver has gained 53 wins in his career to this point. Vettel joined Ferrari back in 2015 and stayed with the team until 2020 before joining Aston Martin in 2021. After the beginning of his racing career, Vettel became a test driver for BMW Sauber in 2006. He then joined Toro Rosso and became a full-time F1 driver by 2008. After promotion to Red Bull in 2009, Sebastian began his winning streak, which lasted for several years. In 2015, Vettel joined Ferrari and fought with Lewis Hamilton for the title over the next few years, finishing as runner-up 2 times. Recently though, Vettel has come under pressure for making mistakes and seemingly struggling with self-confidence, motivation, and other issues, although his career has seen something of a resurgence after moving to Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel was born on July 3rd, 1987 in Happenheim, West Germany. While Sebastian struggled academically, he managed to achieve respectable grades. A music enthusiast from an early age, Vettel initially had plans to become a singer. When he realized that his voice was not good enough, he focused on a racing career. A true polyglot, Sebastian speaks English, French, Finnish, Italian, and of course German. At the age of 3, Vettel was racing karts for the first time. By the time he was 8, he was racing karts competitively. By 11, he'd been accepted into 2 Red Bull junior teams. Over the next few years, he's won a number of titles before being given the chance to test drive various cars. Throughout the early 2000s, Vettel raced in the Formula 3 Euro Series and the Formula BMW ADAC. He was also then promoted to test driver under the BMW Sauber in 2006. In 2006, Vettel became BMW's 3rd driver at the Turkish Grand Prix. He immediately set the fastest time during the practice and became the youngest F1 driver to participate in the Grand Prix weekend at the young age of 19 years old. By 2007, he was confirmed as BMW's official test driver. Later that year, he was released by the team and joined Scuderia Toro Rosso. Strong results came with the Chinese Grand Prix, the Monaco Grand Prix, and the European Grand Prix over the next few years. In 2008, Sebastian won his first Formula Grand Prix in Italy, becoming the youngest driver to do so. This led to his promotion to Red Bull in 2009, which saw Vettel embark on arguably the highest point of his entire career. Although he finished as runner-up in 2009, Sebastian won the championship in 2010, becoming the youngest ever world champion. He then defeated his title in 2011, 12, and 13. Issues started to arise in 2013 when Sebastian ignored the team's orders to win the Malaysian Grand Prix. He was booed by the spectators, which affected his confidence. When Daniel Ricciardo was promoted from Toro Rosso, Red Bull began to focus more on this young driver, and Vettel was neglected. In 2014, he was an absolute disaster for Sebastian, who failed to win a single race during the season, a rarity for defending champions. At the end of 2014, he inevitably left Red Bull, joining Ferrari. At the time, Ferrari was not competitive, and so any planned resurgence of his career was unlikely. However, he managed to bring strong results to the team almost immediately, winning the Malaysian Grand Prix and delivering Ferrari its first win in almost 2 years. Things began to decline over the next few years though, and by 2016 he failed to win a single race all season again. In 2017 and in 2018, however, Sebastian became a legitimate title contender, battling Lewis Hamilton, finishing as runner-up twice. Although he fought well over the 2 seasons, Vettel ultimately experienced disappointment for not claiming his 5th title, as he had led the championship on multiple occasions. Many fans criticized him for making too many mistakes. Over the next few years, Vettel's form began to dip and Ferrari declined to extend his contract. He finished the 2020 season with just 23 points, which was an all-time low in his entire career. Fortunately, Vettel was given a lifeline by Aston Martin, who helped him resurrect his career to some extent. Signing with the team ahead of the 2021 season, Vettel went on to finish 2nd second at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and eventually finished the season with 12th place finish. In addition, he made more overtakes than any other driver that season with a total of 132. But now we're going to talk about his marriage. He got married to his childhood friend Hannah in 2019. They've since had 3 children together, the youngest of which was born in 2019. Vettel is famous for his private lifestyle, and he's also the only Formula 1 driver with no social media presence whatsoever, believe it or not, but it's true. In 2016, it was estimated that Vettel was earning approximately $41 million per year. Between June 2017 and June 2018, he had earned $40 million from his salary and endorsements alone. He earned the same amount between June 2018 and June 2019, and the same period over the next 12 months, he earned $36 million. What's a guy to do with all that money though? Buy a nice house and some cars. That's exactly what he did. We all know that at 4-time world championships, Sebastian Vettel is probably one of the most private figures in motorsports. Vettel prefers sending handwritten letters to fans or working on his vintage motorcycles instead of endlessly scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. So naturally, it's not easy to get the scoop on where he lives, but we do know a couple of things about Sebastian Vettel's house. We know that he's responsible for iconic sayings like Grazie Ragazzi and has a modest $7 million farmhouse in Switzerland's Thurgau canton. We can't say modest because it's slightly less in your face glam than any other properties that you've seen on the list, but don't be fooled, it's still a lot more glamorous than what most people can afford. It's also reportedly not the only property the German driver owns in the area. Unfortunately though, we don't know a lot more about these properties, and chances are we won't uncover any more juicy details anytime soon. Vettel is so dead set on his privacy that he even requested the canton of Thurgau to delete his online land registry data so that nobody could go online and find it and figure out which properties were his. In Sebastian's own words, honestly, it's ridiculous. He's just referencing to how everybody knows everything about everybody. What we do know is that he has a wicked car collection, and it consists of a lot of cars, including a Ferrari California T, which is $220,000, a Ferrari F430, which is $312,000, a Ferrari F48 GTB worth $284,000, an Aston Martin worth $153,000, another Aston Martin DBX, which is $193,000, a Ferrari F40, which is $1.2 million, a Mercedes SL65 worth $134,000, an Infiniti FX at $86,000, a Fiat 500 at the low price of $20,000. But you know what? He has a couple other cars and I don't even know how to pronounce them, okay? What do you think about him retiring? Do you think it's finally time for him, or do you think he's just having a bit of a confidence issue right now? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this dude, because I think he's made some pretty dope titles so far. Thanks for checking out The Rich Life. My name is Aaron and we'll see you soon.